All right, we're at Warren Dragons football camp. Head coach Cody Bupp coming into year 2, and as you can hear behind us, sounds like you got some excited kids this year.
Yeah, we're really excited to get this year rolling. The kids have really bought into what we're trying to teach and the culture, and it's been a fun camp so far.
And so what have you seen here, second year at the helm? What's been different for this camp, this first week of camp, as opposed to last year?
So I was kind of talking with you a little bit earlier, but just some of those younger kids that played 9-10 games at a varsity level as a 9th grader or 10th grader had a really good year in the weight room, put on a little bit of weight, and you can see there's a little more confidence out there now to maybe stick their nose in, and also just assignments. They know what we're doing. We've had some philosophical changes in all 3 phases, but they've been very, quick to kind of learn. It's just that learning curve is sped up a little bit. So those are just, a couple of things right now that we're really excited with where we were a year ago to now.
And, obviously it was a bit of a struggle last year on the field. You had some tough competition throughout the way. But, as you told me earlier, you've got 10 more kids on the squad this year as opposed to what you had at this time last year. What do you think that says about the program and the direction it's headed?
Well, I think, for one, it's just the culture that we're trying to build. And, we've said from day one when we took over that I don't care if you're a 9th grader through 12th grader or you go to Warner or Youngsville, right? The best 11 are going to play. Football's an in the moment game. The best 11 are going to go out there. And our coaches and our staff has stayed true to that. And I think the kids respect that. And I think when they go out and recruit kids in the hallways, they've done a really good job of that as well. That they go, hey, coach is an open book. Coach is willing to give you a shot if you're willing to come out and compete and give us everything that you have. This might be something for you.
And what have you seen so far from this year's team through the first 4.5 days of camp as you get ready to get into your scrimmage with St. Mary's on Saturday?
I think we've seen a lot more aggressiveness, and there's a lot of competition. So we have 2 seniors, and after that we're about 19 each grade. And the younger kids are pushing those sophomores and juniors that had reps, and just the overall aggressiveness is out here. The competition, we put that depth chart up after every practice. We sit down, those kids truly feel, hey, I'm better than this kid. I need to go out and prove it. So they're just buying into all those things that we're teaching them.
And how big is that for development as a program as a whole, to have that kind of healthy competition from the kids when they come out here to practice?
Well, for one, we tell them right out of the chute, just if you come in and say, hey, I'm a wide receiver, and you get beat out, I'm not going to let you change positions. I'm going to continue to develop you. And if a position change comes up that we need to do, then we'll have that conversation, sit down, but we're not going to let kids, right? It's a societal issue right now where things get hard, kids walk away, and that's just not something that we build our program on.
And so, we get asked this a lot, but what do you see as a head coach? How do you measure success this year as far as program development and progress from where you are, where you ended the season a year ago to when ending the season this year?
So I think there's a couple things. So we sat down day one, and as a team, we defined what winning means. So we try to tell the kids all the time that your thought on how you define winning is completely different than I am. But we told them it's preparation, it's hard work, and it's everyone coming together. That's what winning is, and all those things are going to factor into finally having that win on the field. But those off the field things, the kids buying into the weight program, believing in one another. So all those physical attributes are starting to come alive out here. Kids they're getting involved in other sports, something that we've tried to push them, and they're seeing, hey, there is a ripple effect to this. Maybe I have a little more coordination. I'm willing to maybe step out there now because I have that comfort in my body to go out, maybe to go try and make that contested catch that a year ago I didn't have. But all those things are just developing right now. It's been fun to watch.
And so, from your perspective, what do you kind of see? Excuse me, as this is the lasting impression you want people to have of the Warren Dragons when, whether it's fans leaving the stands or an opponent walking off the field. What do you think that lasting impression should be like from Warren this year?
Well, for all, I want to be proud of what these kids are doing. Like I said, we had a really good off-season. The kids bought in. We went 4 days a week. We built an extra day in, and these kids were here. And they were attentive, and they're just sponges. They just want to learn. They want to learn. They want to learn and compete. So I think when you leave a game on a Friday, hopefully it's after a big win at home, and we're all going home happy. But being proud of what these kids are doing, the effort that they're going to give out there, and the way that they're going to go and compete and respect the community support that they get.
And so, one of those teams that you played tight with last year, and we had that game right here on your daily local, the YDL Sports Network, was Conneaut. You're going to open the year this year with them at home. What do you have to do to flip the script a little bit and turn that, kind of close loss into a close win or a big win?
No, and Coach Blood and I have gone back all summer, and he's been a great resource for me because he's doing the same thing. He's in year 3, he's in rebuild, kind of that numbers crunch, trying to build that with the youth. But we've both been jawing back and forth like, hey, we're excited. And Last year was competitive with a couple bad bounces, right? You know, they had 2 onside kicks where we had guys that didn't do what they were supposed to do. Ball bounced the other way, 2 scores, and that kind of flips the game. A couple broken down assignments on 4th down, 3rd downs and long, right? That's part of that maturation process that I hope now with our group that they understand what beat them a year ago. Now we don't beat ourselves. I really think we match up on paper. We have some size up front. I think this year we are going to be led by our line up front. We're going to have youth on the back end and out wide, but I still have trust in all those kids to be able to get the job done. But we have to get that vertical push. I think it's a really good matchup on paper for us.
And how vital is that for you guys? You know, I was speaking with Eisenhower coach Jim Penley earlier today, and he said the same thing. They've got some beef up front, as it were. How important is it to, again, have some of that size? I mean, this has been a kind of an issue for the program as a whole for a long time now.
No, there and again, it goes back into the weight room and getting them, hey, this is where you need to get, and understanding that there's different ways to get there and what all the sacrifices that it takes to get there. But we told them from day one when we took over last year that this is where we have to win. This is where every game's going to get won, and we believe in you guys, but now it's time for you guys to put that work in, and there's been some good leadership in that group that's juniors now that brought the sophomores along, and then they're bringing those freshmen along. It's healthy competition, but there's belief in one another, and they're seeing gains, and they're seeing their body develop. And as we tell them from day one too, right, as a 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, always mature at that later process, but if you do all the fundamental things sound right now, as you put it on, you're going to fly around as you get older.
And so, you know, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of questions across the district in 3A. You know, you're not going to have to necessarily run into an Ethan Knox type player down in Oil City this year, but, you know, obviously all those Mercer County teams are going to be strong as well. What do you kind of see as the outlook across the district, and how do you guys have to factor into that? What do you have to do, to factor in and be one of those teams in a playoff position at the end of the year?
Well, I think going down through it, right, a lot of the teams that we're going to play this year, our senior laden teams, this is kind of their year. Our coaches are in years 3 or 4 of their rebuild or coming back around. So I think it's being able to compete. We saw what it took a year ago. We know what they are. So, you know, region-wise, things, we pick up General McLean as a region opponent, but they were a non-region for us a year ago. Conneaut stays there. Outside of that, you know, we pick up Corey, who's always a really good game for us. Picking up Northeast, who was a playoff team a year ago. So for us, kind of by the middle of the year, we should be able to see, hey, where we're stacking up and how much further we need to come as a group to push to become a playoff team.
And so for you in year 2, what are you most looking forward to as you head into your 2nd season?
There's a lot of things, as I was talking with you earlier, but it's just continue to see these guys grow. I want to see that jump. Those kids that were freshmen that are now playing as sophomores, you know, are they willing to take that jump? Is all the things we've been doing all summer in the offseason, are those things starting to click like they have in camp? So on Saturday, are they going to fly around with their hair on fire and go make those plays? And the things that we know that they can do. So the thing for me, like I said, it's seeing all 54 of the kids go around and continue to develop and believe in themselves at the end of the day. If we have 54 guys that believe in themselves, we're going to have a good football team.
All right, well, we're going to be there to see how it starts out in week 1. We'll have Conneaut at Warren on your Daily Local, the YDL Sports Network. So, Cody, we'll let you get back to it, back to coaching these kids. But thanks for taking some time, and good luck. We'll see you week 1.
Thanks, Brian.